Fellas, text her at 1111 and 444. She'll think the universe showing her a sign. Stay toxic, Kangs. I ain't never seen a king with no kingdom. Where they do that at? Hi ladies, so today's video is going to be shorter than what I normally do, and I'm not going to make any promises, but I am going to really try to start doing shorter videos. I don't know if maybe it's because I'm doing a film analysis, but it just happens that every time the video ends up being like 40 minutes long, if not up to a whole hour. I don't know, maybe I need to talk faster, so we'll figure it out. But anyways, so I was mindlessly scrolling through Instagram when I came across these posts and felt, number one, disgusted by the actual post, and then number two, disgusted by the number of comments laughing at and cheering this degenerate behavior on. Now, I'm not the least bit surprised, especially considering that the page that posted this, their name is Hoodville, and I mean any page dedicated to celebrating the hell on earth that is the hood is not to be held in high regard. But I still find myself taken aback by the audacity displayed here. So I want to take this moment to have a sort of educational talk of spirituality, especially in relation to femininity and leveling up and dealing with men, etc., etc. And quick disclaimer before I even go on, femininity is not just about attracting a man, okay? Attracting a man is simply a bonus of nourishing femininity. Okay, moving right along. So the first thing that I want to say is that spirituality is a journey that is about exploring, educating, and accepting all of the facets of life. There's this notion going around that being spiritual is all about yoga and breathing and pretty rock soul. Oh my goodness, love and light, don't be negative, do nothing and manifest, blah, blah, blah. But this is completely false. The journey of spirituality and leveling up is about changing your mindset, expectations, and actions into those that are actually productive and going to help you get the life you desire. Not the life society says is indicative of success. It's not the life your parents say you should strive for. It's not the life your catty friends are always comparing yours to. No, I'm talking about the life that actually resonates with your soul and makes you happy. The goal here is to work smarter, not necessarily harder. And part of doing that means being honest about the world we live in and what doesn't actually work for us as human beings, but especially as women in a patriarchal system. So you'll hear me mention this a lot, but the age of Aquarius is about enlightenment. Think of Aquarius's symbol, the water bearer. Water is an integral part of life. It gives us nourishment and refreshes us. It would literally be impossible to have life without water. But water also has cleansing properties. So this new age being ushered in is exposing a lot. Think of how you use water to wash out your eyes when you get something in them so you can see again. But with that exposure comes the action of clearing out the old to make room for the new. Again, calling to mind that cleansing aspect. Think of a bath, showers. This duality is also an integral part of life because you can't have the good without the bad. You can't have order without chaos. This is the duality of life. This is what balance means. Equal parts. And this also relates to shadow work, which I'll be going more in depth in an upcoming video I have. So, going back to these memes, the more we see people, but especially women, taking the opportunity to, make actually productive, healthy changes and leveling up, the more we're going to see other people mocking those changes. Because why? Misery loves company. For some people, it is seemingly easier to try to drag others down to their level to keep them stagnant than it would be to actually use other people's level up journey as motivation to invoke positive change in their own lives. And, to be honest, I get it. I definitely don't agree with it, but I understand it. Making the decision to change your life for the better involves a lot of humility, because you have to, number one, admit that you were wrong, and oftentimes, number two, admit that other people you've listened to and even idolized were also wrong. That admission definitely doesn't come easy the first time, speaking from experience, but the more open you are at admitting it, the easier it actually gets to admit it. Always remember, failure is the best teacher. Forgive yourself for your past mistakes, because most of the time we are just doing what we know, the behavior that was modeled to us. But once you actually know better, it is up to you to do better. It's important to understand that there are a lot of men out here that are like this. It's not all, but understand that these men absolutely do exist, and if you give them the chance, they will take advantage of you to get what they want, and that is that slice of heaven that exists between our legs. Men are going to try to gaslight us like, oh, it's just a hole. What else do you bring to the table? But consider this. Within this patriarchal society, why is it that the sex industry is so profitable if men have such a nonchalant opinion of sex? Prostitution is the oldest profession in the world for a reason. Our quote-unquote V card is our best card, so don't play it in the first round. This doesn't mean that our value is solely based on what's between our legs. Of course, we have more to offer than that. I'm just saying that it's more powerful and valuable than we've been led to believe. And be clear that this is in relation to dealing with any man, the good ones and the bad ones. Trust and believe that every single straight man's goal is to get between your legs. It just happens that some of them may be more honorable about how they go about achieving that. Also, forgive me for not saying the actual word. I don't have a problem saying it. I am just trying to avoid triggering YouTube. If a man isn't willing to invest in you, then he does not deserve to be inside of you. Period. We've been bamboozled into embracing this sexual liberation movement, which, don't get me wrong, definitely has some positives. But the truth is that men actually get more out of it than we do. In fact, I would argue that we lose more than we gain. Casual sex is such a misnomer to me because there isn't anything casual about it, especially for women. I think careless sex would be a better word for it. The entire process of allowing a man inside of you is an unbelievably intimate ritual, and it's also very risky, so it's imperative that we are discerning with who we actually let into our temple. Before contraceptives became readily available for us to use, we were more inclined to be exclusive, partially because of society, of course. Slut-shaming was a thing, alright? But there was also a greater risk involved with sex. We honestly couldn't even consider pleasure because we were busy thinking about how we could be stuck with an entire human being to take care of for at least the next 18 years of our life. And that's not even including the almost entire year that we would be spending brewing that human being inside of us. Fast forward to today, even with contraceptives, and even if you tell yourself not to catch feelings, there is still that biological hormonal factor that is going to convince us that this man is trustworthy and worthy of us. Because, I mean, why else would we be letting him in? This is why so many women inevitably end up catching feelings. It's just of no benefit, nor is it probable for us to be promiscuous the way men are. We simply bear a greater risk. We can cry all we want about the double standards, how men should respect us, whether we sleep with them on the first date or the 333rd, but complaining isn't going to change that double standard. Understand how human psychology works. We value the things that are actually rare and take a lot of effort to acquire. And frankly, a lot of these guys are not even deserving of the privilege of having a woman. You are the prize. He needs to earn you. Don't be fooled by these silver-tongued foxes that feed you lies to reassure you he's trustworthy enough to enter into your most sacred space, aside from your mind, which, funny enough, is what he actually ends up penetrating first on his way into your love box. Sure, he likes sexing you, but that doesn't mean he likes you, and certainly doesn't mean he loves you. The second you begin to see that low vibrational side, when you see the cracks in his mask, hell, when you even notice he's wearing a mask, that is your cue to take your things and go. He's an ex for a reason. Always have the feminine confidence to walk away and stay away from dusty men, from fake friends, from a miserable job, all of it. These situations are life's way of testing us to see if we not only have the faith that the universe will provide, but also if we have the faith in ourselves and the love to know we deserve and can achieve better. Something better will always come when you walk away from the things that don't serve you. I promise. And to be clear, it's not just men who possess this level of degeneracy. I actually saw a lot of women in the comment section keying at this too. Again, the moral here is that misery loves company. Men are going to hate on women raising their standards because it means they have to actually work to get what they want. And women are going to hate because they are pick-me's who don't have the willpower or self-esteem to put themselves first, and they think dragging other women will make them more attractive to men. And PSA, for any undiagnosed pick-me's out there, as a former pick-me, doing this is not going to make you more attractive to men. They'll never tell you this, but it actually makes you less attractive because you're essentially putting an entire billboard and carrying a sign pointing at you that says, I have low self-esteem and absolutely no dignity. And whatever man you do attract is not going to be a quality one. The most important lesson you need to take away from this channel is that men need us more than we need them. Women can, and often do, live happier lives alone, and this relates, of course, to the natural laws of the world. In the beginning, there was nothing, space, unmanifested potential, aka chaos. And chaos is a feminine energy, that source energy that is mysterious and magical. It makes sense for a woman to be happier when she is quote unquote free, so to speak, because that is exactly what chaos wants, to be unbridled and ever expansive. The only thing that can stop this expansion is order, the masculine energy that balances it to keep life at an equilibrium. And no, I'm not saying that if you get married, you can't be happy. That's not at all what I'm saying. In fact, that's why I mentioned that masculinity balances femininity. On the other hand, it does not make sense for a man to go through life without that feminine presence, because order needs that chaotic substance to build on. Order came from chaos. So if chaos is removed, what is the point of order? This is why men who use and abuse women never truly prosper in the long run. Some might appear to be living a cushy life, but trust that their souls are decrepit trash bins and nothing to be envious of. After all, if they were truly living the life, then they wouldn't feel the need to bring someone else down with their depravity. The saying karma is a bee is definitely covert misogynistic, but it is also very much a warning and a testament to the power of feminine energy. And frankly, how she treats you depends on you. If you choose to partake in this kind of gross, low-level depravity, then understand that karma may not come today, she may not come tomorrow, but she will come for that ass. Trust and believe, okay?
Trust you will be dealt with. Period.
And that's whether or not you believe in her. And if you associate with someone of this character, don't think for a second that you will be able to escape her wrath. It doesn't matter if you don't do exactly what they do. To be complacent towards others' misbehavior is to silently agree with and encourage them. All it takes is one bad apple to spoil the bunch. So, that's all I have to say. Ladies, make sure that you keep your third eye open and nurture your femininity so that you'll get better and better at spotting the wolves in sheep's clothing to minimize, if not altogether avoid, the damage that they will do to you. Make sure you listen to sacral chakra healing music, work out, eat healthy, and I actually have a playlist with a bunch of healthy beats that have helped myself, and I'm sure will actually help you. And I'll also leave some channels that will help you with, expanding more of your knowledge on femininity and just educating you on that. The other thing is to be clear about what you actually want and need, so that you can manifest the best life for yourself. That's what the law of attraction is about. You don't want to focus on what you don't want, focus on what you do want, so that that energy will come back to you. So, now I'm going to end this with an affirmation. Let's take a deep breath. Center ourselves. Then repeat after me in your head or out loud, whichever works. I release that which no longer serves me. to make room for the blessings that are for me. I am worthy of love, honor, and peace. I am the prize. I love myself. All right. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see all of you lovely beings in the next video.